Hello, welcome to your weekly Pick a Card Tarot Oracle with me, Cindy. How are you doing? I hope you're having a good week. And so today is an open message. I was thinking, should we ask Spirit what's coming towards you? What do you need to know? But you know what? I just decided let's keep it an open message. So that's where this is going. And there's no meditation today because a lot of you are really opening up your intuition, opening new doors in how you think and decide, for yourself in every little day-to-day instance. So this is pile number one. So this is the top. This is a card. I want you to look at the energy, feel the colors, observe the number. This will be identified as pile number one in the timestamp. But it does have the number 36 on it, if that means anything to you as well. And what is listed as pile number 2 is this card, and it does have the number 3 associated with it. And I'm going to leave, I'm not going to tell you what images I see in here, I'm going to leave that for you. And this will be pile number 3. Beautiful colors. It's like an emerald, isn't it? Oops, I shouldn't have said that. 15 is the number associated with this card, this pile. And the last one, this is pile number 4. And the number associated with this one is obviously 27. And you can add these numbers together too, like this could be 9 for someone. You can do that with all of the piles that aren't single digit. Okay, so I'm going to get started with the reading. You can pause, go back, look at the piles. And now if you're ready, go to the timestamp and you'll go right to your pile. So I'm going to start with pile number 1. So what does number 1 have for you today? So actually, we're going to go this way. I want to put the tarot cards first. All right. So what we have here, I know people always ask me, so this card here, this is the Tarot of Dreams. That's the Tarot of Dreams. This is, oh gosh, what is it called again? Spellcaster's Tarot. This is from the Oracle deck of Return of Spirit. And this is the Fairies Oracle deck. And that's what it's called, Fairies Oracle deck. Interesting. So it looks like here, if you picked this card, the message that's coming through to me with this is that there is something that you've been dealing with that is making you feel sort of on the defensive, or, to the point in some cases that you actually want to exit the situation. It doesn't feel really good. But there's some energy that's coming towards you here. It's quite interesting. So I've put the Fairies card in here because I'm trying more and more to bond with this deck and understand it more. And with this card here, it's kind of funny that you actually also got fairy magic from this other deck. That has nothing to do with this one, right? And this is from the fairy deck. So I almost feel like it's amplifying. It's telling you, this is your answer. There's an answer here for you in this card. So as I'm understanding this more and more, this card is, if you could imagine the social worker of fairies, in a sense. So this is the fairy that goes into the darkness. This is the fairy that goes into the alleyways, finds the people who have the most despair, find the people who have lost all of their self-esteem, who have addictions, people who are really dealing with pain, like pain that's inside them here. So I'm getting the message here. Now, for some of you, you may even be called to actually function as this fairy energy. This may be a calling for you to actually function as this fairy energy. For others of you, and that may be associated too with anyone who was in the Capricorn video, because I think this also came up in that, and I'm not going to go into that too much here, but for the Capricorn reading, that may definitely resonate with you, that this may be something that is part of a calling for you to sort of help others through this darkness that they may be experiencing. Now, for those of you that are sort of in this darkness that you're dealing with, this is telling me, like, this is a very strong card here, that there is something that wants to come towards you, someone, a situation, and you just need to open up to it. You just need to ask and give it permission to come forward into your life. So I think many of us know, but not everyone does, that what we live in this existence that we are here on earth, it is based upon free will. The spirit world really functions on that on a much higher level than even we do in a three-dimensional level. So this sort of energy can't come forward to help you if you don't give it permission to, like, literally speak it. And you can say that in any sort of a prayer or a mantra or a chant or just whatever you're comfortable with, and just ask for, in a sense, divine help. You just have to ask the universe for help. And then you have to open your heart up to it. Just open your heart up to it, and it will come to you. It feels really strong that it wants to be here. And for those of you on the other side of this, it feels like a very strong message about being that person to come towards those that are asking for this help. So there you go. That was number one. Thank you. I hope you liked that. I hope it resonated. I hope it meant something for you. Leave a comment in the comment section if you do feel so inclined to do so. And thank you for coming to pick a card with me. So now we're going to do the second pile. And what does the second pile have for you today? So what I'm doing is, actually I'm going to show you. So people are always asking, what cards am I using here? So this is from the Fairies Oracle deck. You have the Retriever. And I'm going this way because I want the tarot cards to be on the left for me to read it. Oh, and this is from Return of Spirit Oracle deck. Your Voice. This is from the Spellcaster's Tarot card, the Hierophant. And this is the Tarot of Dreams, the Ace of Coins. This guy cracks me up. Okay. All right. Interesting. You know, it's funny. Like, I want my tarots here, but this is the second time I'm starting at this end with the reading. So with this Retriever, think about a retriever. What does a retriever do? You throw something out there and it brings it back, right? So in a sense, this is something that you've sort of thrown away or you've lost, but it has a value to it. And the retriever is trying to bring it back to you, whatever that is. For some of you, I think it's your voice to speak up for yourself or to speak up for a situation, but to speak out, to have a voice again. For others of you, it feels like it could be something physical, like it could be a physical person or an opportunity in something that was lost. And this retriever energy is bringing it back. Now, part of the problem with the retriever energy, it's not really a problem, it's just a fact of life, is that you do have to work with it a little bit. So you don't just, buy your little retriever puppy and it just knows what to do, right? So you do have to put a little bit of work in. There may be some roads and some twists and turns that you didn't expect to do to get this back, but you will. The retriever will bring this back to you as long as you're willing to maybe go down a road that's a little bit different than what you anticipated. What you wanted is still there, or what you feel like you've lost is still there. The retriever energy is bringing it towards you. So for many of you, it does feel like it's this voice, this being able to speak up for what it is that you truly want or believe in, or feel maybe something was just not right and you need to correct that in a verbal sense with someone. The Hierophant here, this card, I mean, typically the Hierophant can be about institutions. It can be about, you know, the structure that maintains our societies. It is also the Taurus card in the tarot. This card to me is very strongly resonating with, you know, the whole idea of marriage and religion. So this is like about marriage and religion. And or, I would put it in that sense. But it's a very suppressive card to me. This is very suppressive energy. So I feel like if there's something that was feeling very heavy in either, you know, what you believe in your religion or even in your partnership with someone, there's a return of something coming forward for you that is going to have something to do with this. And at the back here, at the back of the deck, we have our Ace of Coins here. And this is a pretty triumphant new start in something, right? So whatever this is that you lost or that you are missing, that's supposed to be coming towards you, it is, and it's going to be great when it gets here, when you've either been able to speak up, resolve what this issue is, whatever it is that you're missing that this retriever is bringing back, you are going to have a new start in something physical in this life, something physical. So that could be with a person, it could be a career, it could be a new car, a house, like maybe you've been trying to buy a house and you haven't been having any luck with that. So there's energy that's coming to shift this for you. I got a message when I was sort of in the middle of that about somebody dealing with a church and just the church not having enough funds. Like, so there's some sort of, there's a return, either a return of people coming back to the church that are going to help boost that up. There's some sort of return coming for that. So that felt very specific. I don't know if somebody needed to hear that, obviously. But there you go. That was number 2. I hope you guys liked it. Let me know in the comment section. Every week I do this now. There's so many more people at the channel that have subscribed. So it really changes the energy in these cards, which makes it quite interesting, very dynamic. So thank you guys for allowing me to do that for you. So now we're going to go to pile number 3. So what does number 3 have? This is beautiful. I love this card. I'm really drawn to this emerald green. I probably would have picked it if I was doing this. And I don't know. What do we got here? So I guess maybe this is for me too. Let's see what it is. So this is just letting everyone know what cards I'm using because it does seem to be a fairly common question. So this card is from the Fairies Oracle deck. Oh, this is a great card. I love that card. So illumination and something there. This is from the Return of Spirit Oracle deck. Oh, wow. Yo, sexuality. This is from the Spellcaster's Tarot. Ooh, the Two of Swords. It's actually one of my favorite cards in that deck. I love how she stands there so confidently. And this is from the Tarot of Dreams. Ooh, the Four of Cups. Sorry, I just need a drink here. All right. So the first thing we have here is we do have some Cancer energy with this card. It's very specific here. Swords is, you know, could be Gemini, Aquarius, Libra energy. I feel a lot of Libra with this card. Just with, you know, there's balance here. There's quite a bit of balance going on. This is a great Two of Swords cards. Like in a lot of decks, they have a blindfold on, but it's sort of like at this point, at this Two of Swords point, you've already taken the blindfold off, which is really nice. So you're about to make that step, that approach to whatever it is your choice is. I'm going to need a second here with this Sexuality card. I'm getting 2 messages. The first message is coming in pretty clear, actually. So let's go with the first one, and maybe more information will come in on the second message. So with this Four of Cups here too, I mean, there's 3 cups here that have been placed on the ground. And this person is focused on this cup now. So to me, it means you've actually made that choice and your blindfold is off. So you're about to step forward with your choice. You are about to step forward with your choice. And the choice, so this is interesting. So this message right now, this first part of the message is specifically for people who I want to say are like same sex, or they either identify themselves as gay or lesbian. And so this message is for you, this first part right now. There's been, you know, some decision to actually come out in the open, or either to approach someone who you think is also identifies themselves the same sexually, and there's some sort of attraction there. Now this is very playful energy. This is, and this Lastis Moon's daughter. So in a sense, the moon energy, this is his daughter. And so she's very playful and she plays with her dad. Like they have a great time together. That sort of energy, like it's very childish and fun, and often like doing little jokes on each other sort of energy for me. And so one of the little jokes to me that she does here is the moon energy is often about, you know, making it difficult to see things clearly. It's not like the daylight. So the shadows outside during the moonlight, they're elongated, they're cast in a funny way, and you're not really sure if you know what you're looking at, or there's just some indecision often based about the moon, and a lot of dreams and fantasy can happen with that. So she comes in and she sort of actually lights the way a bit. So she illuminates it a little bit more, and you can see that. I mean, look at how bright she is compared to her father. So she's just, and that's her little trick she plays on him. So when he's trying to, you know, disguise reality for people, she comes in and she illuminates it, but she does it in a very fun and playful way, and he never gets angry at her. So the message I'm getting here is that if there's a decision you've been making about your sexuality and how you identify yourself, she's here with you. This energy is here with you, and it's encouraging you to do what you really feel deep down inside you need to do to be your true self. And be playful about it. If somebody's defensive about it, just try to be, you know, just try to be playful about it and not take it personally, because it is their personal issue, not yours. And you want to, if you're making this step, if you're moving in this direction, you're doing it so that you feel good about yourself, and your vibration is actually going to come up because you're being true to yourself. So don't let those other people's or other person's energy affect you in that way. Now, for others of you, I'm just going to write that down, 1815, because I might put that in the timestamps. Not everybody may have resonated with that first message. Okay, so the second part of this, this message is, again, I would just say for heterosexual people at this point in this message, there is something that needs to still be illuminated in terms of you, how you see yourself, what you feel comfortable with in terms of relationships that are intimate. Like what, I feel like for some of you, you have been holding back on a part of yourself, and you're not sure how to express it. And the message that I'm getting here is that you're getting to the point where, like, this is a part of you that does need to be expressed. It does need to come forward. You've taken the blindfold off. You're actually seeing yourself in whatever this is that you want to explore or you want to do. And you're ready, like you have your candles here. Your way is sort of illuminated, and you're ready to go, and you're looking at it. You're like, this feels like a big part of me that is actually in my deeper feelings too. And this might be another level of a relationship with someone that you want to take it to as well. So again, the moon's daughter comes in here. And so if you skipped the first part of this reading, so this is the moon's daughter, and her and her dad have a great relationship. They're very playful energy with each other. They're always playing jokes on one another, and but it's always in good fun. And they're always really like they're almost like bosom buddies, as well as being daughter and father. Now, the moon itself often makes things difficult to see the reality of something. It's not like daylight where everything is bright, the shadows are not elongated and deformed. So she comes in because her dad is a bit of a trickster on people with this moonlight. So she comes in, look at how illuminated she is. And she brings in this illumination. She makes people, she allows them to see what they were not able to see before. And she does it in a very playful way. So I feel like she's sort of illuminating the way and say, follow my lead, be very playful about this, and move forward with what it is that you really have this desire to explore or to be. That was a really interesting pile. All right, thank you for number 3, guys. So go for it. There you go. That was number 3. All right. So now we're going to pile number 4. So what does number 4 have for you? So just letting each pile know that what the decks are, because people have been asking. So this is from the Fairies Oracle deck. And you have Ecstasis, which is sort of like ecstasy, really. And then you have from the Oracle deck, Return of Spirit. Wow, you have Immunity, okay. It's been making the rounds this week, that card. And then from the Spellcaster's Tarot, whoop, oh, you have the Wheel of Fortune. Wow, this is turning out to be an interesting read. And then from this deck, this is the Tarot of Dreams. Wow, Priestess. Okay. Darkness into darkness, the key to all mystery. Scorpio gets that. And to me, this is Scorpio energy. I always identify the High Priestess or the Priestess as Scorpio energy for myself. Always playing with that dark magic because there's a true understanding of how that actually works with it. Okay. All right. The first card we're going to start with is this, because it's going to really make you realize what a powerful reading number 4 is. So this card is about, it's about ecstasy. It's about happiness, joy, that feeling that we're all looking for, right? Because it just boosts us up. And it does literally boost us up. It boosts your immune system. It releases endorphins. It makes you feel absolutely incredible. And this is that feeling that, in a sense, exists throughout the universe. This is like divine love. This is pure love. Love should never be painful or hurtful. It's this ecstasies. So the big message with this card is, when it's with other cards in a reading, it actually boosts and magnifies the energy and the message of those cards. So now you can see how powerful number 4 is. This is pretty, pretty powerful energy right here. So this immunity card has been around the block a bit this week. It came out at first for Libra, and for some reason I think it came out for another sign, or at least during like a shuffle spread it was there, or it was like under the deck. So it's been around. The big message that came out with this card this week was the whole concept of spiritual immunity. So when you've been through something that's really been hard, it's almost like killed you, crushed you on a spiritual level, but you have come through it. You've survived it. And if we think about immunity in its most basic sense, it's a system that you have within you that has survived some sort of attack, and now this system recognizes that attack from that same thing. If it ever comes to you again, the system stops it from coming. It stops it from developing in you at all. Like you don't even know. You wouldn't even know that that same cold virus tried to invade your body again like 3 years later, because your immune system just like boom, shut it down like that. And wow, with this card, I just feel like a lot of you, there might be a lot of Libras that were drawn to number 27, the fourth pile, and you're sort of getting this message again that this is real. So your spiritual side of you, whatever it is that you went through, you're spiritually immune to it. It's not happening again. You can put it behind you. It's done. Like, you don't have to worry about that coming towards you again, because in a sense, your spirit will not allow yourself to go down that road. Like, your spirit has this intuitive ability that goes beyond your brain, recognizing situations and circumstances. You will not be hurt in the same way. And to have it boosted, it reminded me actually of a thought that I had, I think it was yesterday morning, about this immunity card. And I thought to myself, I remember when there was a bad case of flu going around a few years ago, and I had read about it, and apparently no one was getting that flu who was like in their 80s. And they weren't getting it because like 70 years ago, at the time that this flu was going around, there was another flu that was so similar to it that their immune system was able to recognize it, and they didn't get it. So it wasn't actually the same flu though. It was just so similar that their immune system still recognized it. So that's what I'm getting. Actually, what's really funny, because that's sort of the message I'm getting here. Don't even worry about situations that might be a little bit similar. It's not happening. It's not coming towards you. For these two cards to be boosted, holy cow. Like, I feel like by having this information, you were able to move into a very strong and powerful high priestess energy that is about going deep into your feelings and your desires and manifesting them, almost with this Wheel of Fortune card, being able to control it a little bit now, being able to use your mind to stop this monkey from spinning it just randomly and hitting bad shit. Like, you can foresee in your mind the good shit that you want, and you can control it with this Wheel of Fortune. This is really pretty a cool pile. It's a really cool pile. And that's the key, is knowing, because if you keep this energy in you, whatever it was that you went through that affected you badly, but it gave you spiritual immunity, you need to stop thinking about it. Because once you've had a really bad flu, you don't think about it constantly for the next 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years, right? If you did, you would probably constantly get sick with other flus, because you would be bringing that energy towards you. So with this High Priestess, this is sort of what's being clarified here for you, is just know you're immune. It's gone. It's done. What needed to happen through that was this immunity for your spirit. You've experienced this in other lives with other situations, and it's built up spiritual immunity for you, so you don't end up in those situations. So you have this power, and it's almost amplified right now. And look at this message here, darkness into darkness, the key to all mystery, right? The darkness is what actually gives you strength. It's what gives you the immunity. If you never get sick, right? Actually, this is often true. I've heard many people who experience this. They almost never get sick, but when they do, they are really sick. Like, it really hits them hard. And in a sense, it's maybe because their immune system just hasn't been exercised enough. So the darkness is what actually gives you this immunity. So you have to learn, in a sense, to accept the darkness for the lessons that it provides us. It's not bad, because it absolutely is not bad. It's how some people use it that can be bad. So the darkness itself is there so that you can actually see the light. If there was no darkness, you wouldn't even know that there was light, right? And that's it. So that was number 4. My goodness, I never know what's coming to me now. Like I was saying to one of the other piles, there's so many more people that have subscribed to the channel that the energy that comes through these is really quite interesting now. So that was that for this week, the Pick a Pile. I'm going to do the love romance reading for Pick a Pile as well. And yeah, thank you so much for coming and for coming to the channel, subscribing, liking. I very much appreciate every one of you. Have a wonderful week and take care of yourselves and be gentle with yourselves. Bye, guys.